What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Outdoors with Craig DZ. Happy to be back and hopefully be making some future content for you. So let's give you a quick little update with what I've been up to since I haven't posted anything in probably close to 10 months. A lot has changed, so stay tuned. All right, YouTube, we're back. So yeah, haven't really posted too much content lately. Really combination of things, so I haven't really gotten a chance to post too much content lately. Kind of took a break. A lot of things going on, like today just got back from my first horse show that I think I've ever been to, but with my wife, kind of enjoying some time with her and her hobbies for once. We bought a horse this spring, and so she's been spending a lot of time doing that. So this was today was going to be the first kind of practice show that she was going to, and so spent all of almost 12 hours between going to the horse barn and going to the show and back. So a lot of time spent there. I'll give a tour of the yard here in a second. One of the things that happened to me really over the winter, might have even been the end of the season last year doing excavation work, but I messed up my back. I actually have 2 herniated discs and a torn disc in my back. So right now I'm pretty much light duty. Can't lift more than 15 pounds, and wasn't probably till April when I actually went to the doctors, but probably the month of March and April I was in tremendous pain regarding that problem. Not really sure how I did it. I'm not sure if it's just something I did working last year towards the end of the year and kind of screwed it up, and then going into winter, obviously we get snow up here. I was snowmobiling. I don't know if that aggravated it more, but it was feeling pretty decent. But the first couple jobs that I did, really like first full weekend that I worked, I couldn't get out of bed the next day. I was in a ton of pain. My legs, I had tingling in my legs, my feet, my groin hurt, my legs hurt, shooting pain down both sides. So, could barely bend over and put my shoes on or anything like that. So, since then, let me spin the camera around. I'll kind of give you a tour of the yard and see what's up. All right. So since then, obviously you can imagine that's kind of put a damper on things. So one thing you'll notice here, if I pan around, that's not my trailer, that's a buddy's that I'm kind of storing for temp. But you're gonna notice quite a bit of stuff. So I mean, my garage is here, but there's nothing regarding the excavation business in there. So basically sold my excavator, all my attachments for the excavator, all my attachments for the skid steer, all my trailers. The only thing I have left is my skid steer, a pair of forks, which I still use from time to time, and then a mulcher. So this is an FAE mulcher 2023 that I bought, and again, as I said, towards the end of the year I was having a lot of back pain, and so last year also I struggled with getting people to help me on bigger jobs. So I said, you know what, Craig, why don't we try and do something different this year? So I like the forestry work, and there wasn't a lot of people that did much in my area. So I said, you know what, why don't I look at getting a mulcher, and I can do some small land clearing jobs, kind of, pushing back people's yards, cleaning up pastures, stuff like that. I didn't mind doing brush hogging. I mean, that's pretty easy to do, and so I thought it'd be a good addition. So I ran some Facebook ads, had a ton of potential, and I actually had 15 jobs lined up for that, going into basically April, end of April into May. And that's, we had some cold weather going in almost into spring, so real wet, so it was kind of a late start. I think it was like mid-April maybe was when I actually started, and did some stump grinding jobs, some smaller excavation jobs, and then I used this I think on Saturday for you know, half the day. I used my brush hog, you know, all day on Sunday. And then that story that I told you about, you know, came Monday. I had to roll out of bed. Couldn't put my socks on. Couldn't barely put my shoes on. So yeah, it was kind of heartbreaking, because I thought, you know, the mulcher was definitely going to be the ticket. Definitely a lot of business. Again, something you could do by yourself, right? You don't need 2 or 3 guys with you. You don't need a bunch, you know, 2 or 3 pieces of equipment. You're not hauling things away. You don't need material. You know, it's pretty much you show up with this. You know, I have extra teeth, you know, grinder to sharpen them, all that stuff. And, you know, as long as you don't break something, you're pretty much self-sufficient on those jobs. So like I said, I had about 15 probably lined up for that machine. However, you know, I went to the doctors finally and kind of got the bad news. And I hadn't had an MRI yet, but at that time, you know, I was really struggling day to day with pain. And so I made the decision basically to kind of close up shop on the excavation side, because I figured, you know, best case scenario, I was probably going to be out for, you know, till fall, maybe the whole year. That really didn't include, you know, if I needed surgery or anything else. So I mean, so far my back, you know, pain is almost gone. Like today, going to the horse show, standing all day, you know, sitting once in a blue moon here or there, you know, my back does bother me, and you know, I do have to kind of sit once in a while. So when it got warm, I got my AC unit out, which is probably 50 pounds, and my back was feeling pretty, you know, pretty decent at that point. But just carrying that from the basement upstairs set me back probably 2 or 3 weeks again. I got pain and been going to PT, but so I think I made the right choice. Like I said, I've sold everything. The excavator, so I use the forks, and that's one thing I'm going to kind of talk about here in a second. But the mulcher, you know, I bought, you know, it's got about 8 hours on it, and you know, I'm not looking to really take a loss, so that thing can sit unless somebody, you know, wants one. I mean, I think on Facebook I got it listed for like 27 grand. It comes with like $2,000 in teeth. I have a set of carbites that are brand new, and then I got an extra set of knives that aren't on it as well. And I think I paid, maybe it was 32 grand for that mulcher, which was actually a, you know, pretty decent deal, like the cheapest you can pretty much get it. My local Kubota dealer, they're also an FAE dealer, they want it for that same mulcher, and they, you know, we're going to put in a poly window, which I did myself, was almost 4,000 or 40,000. So quite a huge difference there in price. So that was good. But so I still have this stuff. The skid steer, really, again, not looking to take a loss on it. So that's been on Facebook the longest, and I even had a guy this weekend that claimed he was going to come out and look at it, and then the day he was going to come, which I think was yesterday, he messaged me. He was like, hey, you know, how firm are you on the price? And I'm like, buddy, I mean, this right now in my area is the cheapest 23 skid steer, you know, SVL 65 with 160 hours on it that you can find. You know, that brand new is a $75,000 machine, and right now it's on Facebook for, I think, 58. So quite a huge savings there. Yeah, it's got some wear and tear, but I mean, for 50,000, there's 2000 2019 models with 1500 2000 hours. So I mean, again, I'm not looking to take a bath. I don't need the money that bad, so it can pretty much sit here, help me with some lawn stuff. But again, I can't really use it, so it's just pretty much been sitting. So I'll go in the garage here, kind of show you what I've been up to. Let's turn this thing on. This is a mess, but yeah, so towards the end of last year, around the same time, before my back issues, started getting into Amazon. So e-commerce, selling stuff online, and yeah, it's been going pretty good. So while I'm upset that I got rid of, you know, and had to kind of shut down my excavation business, this stuff right here, right, this has been doing all right. Look forward to making more videos for you. Like I said, just want to check in, let everybody know, you know, I'm doing all right still. And you know, even if you have questions still around dumpsters, I know just yesterday or 2 days ago I sent out my contract to somebody again. You know, post comments below. You know, reach out to us via email. Always happy to help people out. But yeah, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest videos, and I will catch you guys on the next one.